your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Satellite radar picture showing clearing skies out there tonight. Things looking pretty good across the area after what was a snowy start for some this morning up into Ford and Iroquois County. That quickly cleared the area. And temperatures now down to the mid-20s. It's going to be another chilly night, but not as cold as the mid-teens that we had earlier this morning. As a matter of fact, temperatures may actually start to come up a few degrees. That's because our winds are turning out of the south, and we'll see a warming trend over the next 24 hours. We've got to talk about the winds that are in the forecast, and I'll tell you about something that you can see tonight that won't happen. It's going to be the last one of the decade. So I'll show you that coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
I'm really excited.
It's news many have been waiting for, where 9 months of construction is coming to an end.
And it's video that might be hard for some of you to see. What came tumbling down today?
If there were an issue, an officer is directly nearby.
And if you're selling something online, where you can go to make the exchange and stay safe.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
That is excellent news.
Many of you might say the same thing after hearing the Bradley Avenue Bridge in Champaign will be opening tomorrow. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. That project started back in March. Now, since then, Bradley Avenue between Duncan and Staley has been blocked off. It was supposed to be done a month ago, but IDOT says the wait will be worth it. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting live in our newsroom. So, Courtney, why did it take so long?
And Jennifer, IDOT crews say the weather played a role in this, but there were also some utility and scheduling issues too. But they say drivers will be happy with the finished product.
Just add some extra time, and it's kind of a pain.
That's the complaint you'll hear from just about anyone living near Champaign's Bradley Avenue Bridge.
Trying to get to, say, North Prospect, my parents' house, pretty much anywhere on that side of town, it's a lot more difficult.
But it won't be the case for much longer. The $5 million improvement is opening up to vehicle traffic. Crews are still working on a protective coating. After that, they'll start striping. But their finish date was not part of the original plan.
It was supposed to be completed by November 15th.
Weather and scheduling challenges pushed the date back. IDOT representatives say the wait will pay off because the finished product is going to make the road much safer.
It's going to be much better than the roadway that was here previously because it was very narrow. There were even narrow bridge signs up, but now you have a much wider room. You have an 11-foot lane. You also have a 4.5-foot bike lane, so bikers have their own lane, so that's a lot wider. It's a lot safer. And there's also 6-foot sidewalks now for anybody walking.
Between safety improvements and a shorter commute, drivers are ready for the changes.
I've been having to drive around, around the whole block every time, so it's been adding like 20 minutes. It's been like a 20-minute drive to campus now, so hopefully when this opens up, I'll be able to get to campus real quick.
I'm really excited.
All bike lanes will open tomorrow along with the road, but the south sidewalk has some spots that might not be done until spring. The north side of the sidewalk, on the other hand, is already done. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
It looks pretty already. All right, thank you so much. Now, of course, you remember that bridge was the centerpiece of a viral video a few months ago. 29-year-old Asia Marshall was arrested for driving over the unfinished bridge back in September. Her blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit, police say. She was back in court again this week for a hit and run. Police say she and her passenger got into a fight. She stepped out of the car. They say Marshall then ran over her passenger and drove off. Both of the charges are for aggravated DUI. We have new information. A man accused of using his car to run over 2 people was in court. Derrick Overton is being charged with the aggravated battery, failure to report the incident to authorities, as well as residential burglary and theft. He pleaded not guilty. Back in September, we were given video of the incident. It showed a fight in a parking lot. A man used his car to run into the people involved in the brawl. 2 were hit. In court, the judge said Overton is facing felony charges for that crime.
Here's a follow-up. Murder charges have been dropped against a woman from Danville, but she's still heading to prison. Laura Johnson was sentenced to 20 years for armed robbery. Johnson and her boyfriend, Michael Long, both pleaded not guilty to killing 31-year-old Kimberly George last year. Police say the pair confessed to shooting George and her boyfriend, Eric Stark, at their home near Georgetown. Now, Stark survived. The Vermilion County State's attorney says the murder charge was dropped because Johnson wasn't the shooter. She was also able to give information that will help prosecutors' case against Long. A man in Indiana found guilty of impersonating an officer was sentenced to 2 years probation. Justin Hafner walked into the Edgar County Sheriff's Office last year and asked deputies if they would help him make arrests. Officers had been looking for Hafner. He was carrying a BB gun when he was arrested and had a gun in his car. In addition to probation, he's subject to random drug testing, searches, and must take prescribed medication.
We have new details about human remains found inside an abandoned house in Danville. The coroner has identified the man and his cause of death. They say he was 52-year-old Timothy Duncan of Covington, Indiana. He died from smoke inhalation and soot from a fire at the home. We told you someone's pet was bringing the bones home and police were called. A plan to merge 3 counties' 911 systems is on hold for now. Montgomery County leaders recently approached Shelby and Christian counties about consolidating. Shelby and Christian already merged a few years ago. Now, last night, Montgomery leaders backed off of their plan and told Shelby County they needed another month to decide. Some 911 board members in Shelby County say they're worried about spreading resources too thin.
You know, we haven't been a combined board with Christian County for that long, so we're just starting to figure out the bumps and the problems with what we're doing. So I'm not so sure we should be taking on another county and the problems that that other county has.
Shelby County is waiting to vote until after Montgomery does. All 3 counties would have to approve the plan, and then the state would have to sign off as well.
State police say they busted several underage drinkers at U of I campus bars. Champaign police helped troopers with a sweep Saturday night. They wrote 23 tickets. Most of them were given to underage people they found at Red Lion, Brothers, and Joe's. Police say they may have had their driver's license taken away, especially if they were caught using fake IDs. Here's another update now. A U of I staple closed its doors in October. Soon, students won't even be able to tell Cam's was on Daniel Street at all.
Teardown started this week on the iconic bar and the other storefronts on the street. They're going to be replaced by a new apartment building. WCIA 3's Andy Olson is with us now. All right, Andy. So what are some students feeling in Cam's final hours?
Jennifer, I talked with several students who were just passing by the demolition, and they all agreed it was very sad to see the old building go. They've been open on Daniel Street since 1933. They moved into that building in 1975. The Illini Union Bookstore is going to be the only building that stays up when the apartments go up on that street. The building is still mostly up, but some of the famous features, like the front door signage and the Alma mural, are gone. A lot of students have stories about their trips to that bar. One student says his roommate wouldn't be here today without Cam's.
Like his parents met at Cam's, like that's where they met each other and then they got married, and like I know that's the same for like a lot of people, and like a lot of my cousins, my uncles who convinced me to go to Illinois, like they would always talk about this place and everything, so I mean it's been here for forever.
And the bar's owners say they're going to incorporate some old elements of Cam's into the new location, but they felt a move would help keep Cam's around for a very long time. Construction workers say that the building should be completely gone by tomorrow, leaving Cam's on Daniel Street to only be a legend of the past. Jennifer?
All right, Andy, thank you. Now, Cam's new location is going to be at First and Green. Construction started there when the old Cam's closed. The plan is to be opened by January 1st.
A little hard to talk about.
Well, Andy was showing, a lot of people in the newsroom were the mural is just in rubble. It was difficult for
I know
some
you
to
have some
handle.
memories there.
I do. Good memories. All good.
All right. Well, the Illini
Some stinky, but all good.
I think we've all heard that. The Illini came within seconds of beating 4th-ranked Maryland. Now they're going to get another chance at a top 5 team tonight at the State Farm Center.
Also tonight, do you have an animal on your Christmas list? You can make the holiday brighter for a wolf or maybe even a meerkat.
And tonight, it's got to be another chilly night, but clear skies out there. So look at the roofing dug at Adams Memorial Weather camera recap today, 33 and 13 this morning. It was chilly out there. Winds on the increase. We'll talk about temperatures getting back to near average and some snow in the forecast coming up.